What's up, Roxstars? How you doing out there? We got us a new show. And what would it be? Well, it's new to me. I was about to say Love and Hip Hop. Love and Marriage Huntsville. And this is season 3, episode 1. So I told you guys that I was picking up this show. I binged and watched all of season 1, most of season 2. I got the gist now, okay? I think I only had like 3 episodes left in season 2, and I was just so over it. I was just like, I can't take no more. So yeah, we got on to episode 1 of season 3, and quite a few things have happened. It's been a roller coaster ride, but I think this show is actually very good, and people have been telling me about it for a long time, and now I'm here with you. We not here, but we here. We just picking up with episode 1, you guys. I'm not going back and doing a review and all of that, okay? It's just entirely too much work. So with that being said, the review, let's get to it, shall we? When the show starts, you know, when they have the opening montage, we see our regular people, which is the Scotts, both sets. So Maurice and Kimberly. We see Letitia and Marcel. And then, of course, we have the stars of the show, which would be Melody and Martell. We've got some additions. It looked like Destiny finally got her name put up there on that screen, right? I was like, I knew she was working hard to get up there. Ain't no LeBerick though, which is also not surprising considering he was barely on, if he was at all, last season. So no LeBerick, but we've got her on there. So I guess she did her job, right? And I think they're going to have a new couple eventually on the show as well, but we haven't seen them yet, I don't believe. But anyway, so we've got our usual suspects, and they're talking about, you know, the past and the things that have happened, the things that have changed their lives, some for the better, some for the worse. Of course, the better being Maurice and Kimmy getting married. Of course, the worst being Martell and Melody getting divorced, a baby on the way, child. I mean, just a whole bunch, okay? The comeback group seems to be on simmer, and that's at the most positive terms. Really is kind of on the back burner to not existing anymore at all. And they still got that 47 acres. So it's a lot going on. Can Melody and Martell make it back to each other? No. That is a resounding no. I do not believe that will happen. But that was the question that they posed at the beginning of the show yesterday. Oh no, it won't. But anyway, we see Marcel and Maurice at the Scott compound, at the Scott Manor, you know, the land anyway. You know, they were going to clear out the land. They were going to build this big compound for all of the Scott family to live, you know, they each buy certain plots and they build their homes there, and they can all live together because it's all about leaving a legacy and making sure. And it's all very fine and good when you think about it. But, you know, when you get to the reality of the situation, can you imagine having to live next door to Letitia? Oh, that Letitia girl. The project has been pretty much on hold because they've been getting a lot of rain and the ground is real soft, and they haven't been able to really do anything there. They can't lay any foundations really or anything until that ground hardens back up some. On top of that, Tisha has had all these changes to the plans, you know, I guess that they were going to do, and that also holds the shit up. Marcel was like, is Kimmy going to let you stay there? And Maurice was like, like, I mean, it's already a given they're going to be living there. But Kimmy had already made it very clear she was not moving. I don't know if she ain't made it clear to Maurice, but she definitely told Tisha, like, I'm not trying to, who the fuck wants to come home from work and then know that you got like family? I mean, it's not like we real close like that, where when I get home from work, I don't want you knocking on my door like, hey girl, what you doing? Trying to get some rest. I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like being nice or nothing. I just want to sit down. And you already know Tisha gonna be like that with Kimmy. Okay. Oh, and Tisha is still hurt. Tisha feels like Kimmy don't have her back. And I was just like, are we about to have this all this season again? I'm telling you, that damn Tisha gets on my fucking nerves so bad because she's so immature. When the show first started, when I first started watching season 1, I just thought maybe she was like a, you know, like naive, and that she just needed to have a little bit more learning because she had pretty much, you know, Marcel was keeping her like a fucking caveman at the house, and she was just watching them kids and wasn't getting out and living life. you know. But now that she has had some experience and she's had some successes and stuff, the child is still fucking like a baby. Like, what is wrong with you? But, you know, we did see the reason why Tisha is the way that she is, that her mother and her family as a whole, we will see later, you know, they're the reasons that they have created this mess, okay, that Tisha is. She just gets on my nerves. But whatever. Evidently, Martell was on Steve Harvey's show and he apologized to Melody. But Marcel said that Martell feels like he was wronged as well. And I was like, that's not true. I mean, maybe in the end, you know, shit was going down, but we was already at war at that point. But we all know from the very beginning, I'm never going to forget that Martell said to his uncle that he cheated because he could, that Melody hadn't done anything, that she was still a good wife, and he still wanted to go and find him a girlfriend because that's what a lot of men down south, that's just kind of what they do. And Martell felt like the opportunity was there and he took it, and he was still being able to live his life. He was still coming home and being a good husband to his wife. And so he was just like the best of both worlds. I guess, you know, his side chick was doing shit sexually that Melody wouldn't do. And, you know, he was just living it up. But now, of course, he changes it. Yeah, she hurt him too. We at war now, so it don't matter. And I still fully believe that they were broken up, at least separated. I know some people think that when you're separated that you still shouldn't date. That's not how I feel. So when you ain't together no more, then you should be able to date if you want to. Of course, if you're the other person, you might want to tread lightly, because it's a lot of times when people that are married, you know, they end up back together. But I still feel like you not together, you should be able to go and see who you want to see. Now we see Melody, okay, and Melody is all done up, childless hair. I was just like, sometimes her hair is cute, and then sometimes it just is not. And I'm sure everybody got enough money to get them wigs right. Okay, so I don't know why Melody just didn't, child, she was just like, I'm just going to experiment, I guess, huh? They're all that blonde. And anyway, she said that since the divorce is finalized, she's decided that she's not going to date because she just wants to focus on herself, on her career, on her kids, you know. So that's what's happening now. I was like, code word for give me a year. Okay, then the bitch is about to bust with somebody fine. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would like to date Melody Holt. Now, I just told you guys that Destiny is a regular on the show now, which was interesting because I couldn't figure out how I felt about Destiny when she first came on. I know she got on my nerves with always, every time she saw Kimmy, that's all she complained about was the fact that Kimmy was just like, I don't know them, but I know her man sells the good chicken or something. And she just kept on bringing it up. And Kimmy was just like, but I didn't know you. And yes, he does sell good chicken. Like, where is the problem here? So she would get on my nerves with that, but then other times she would be cool. But then I was just sort of like, she's just sort of like blah. You know, not really bad, but not really good, and not really adding nothing. So I was just like, you know, so I'm still trying to figure out Destiny. Maybe she's going to be better this season, you guys. But anyway, Destiny goes over to visit Melody in her new home. Hey, girl, come on in. She says, hey, Miss Holt. You're right. I am Miss Holt. Okay, now you guys know Melody is the full Southern belle. I'm gonna have to try to perfect her voice. It won't be hard for me. Just give me a week or two. They sit down and they're talking, and, you know, Destiny says that she and Kimmy are doing better now. You know, I guess they had went out and had lunch or dinner together the other day, and she said, yeah, girl, it was good. You know, even though Kimmy was asking a lot of personal questions. And they flash back, and Kimmy asked her if she and her husband are okay, and she was just like, as fine as we can be. But she tells Melody she's divorced. And this was some of the worst acting. I was like, Melody. You know, Melody was like, what? And then she put her hand in her face like this. And I was like, you're laughing. I'm looking at you and you're laughing. You know, Melody always has like these weird moments when she smiles. But then she pulls it together and she comes back up. She acts like she's shocked. I knew that you and LB was having issues, but I didn't know it was to this degree. Well, why you didn't tell me? Well, because you was going through your own thing. And she's like, well, I wasn't going through that much in the last month. hey, it is what it is. We is two divorced women's now on this show with all our eligibility, and people gonna be watching us. I was like, shit, Destiny might come out with a new man too. And of course, it's not surprising. Her and LeBerg looked like it was just a made-for-TV relationship, trying to make sure that they can get on this show. Maybe LeBerg somewhere along the line didn't look like he wanted to be on the damn show, but Destiny did. I mean, it worked. She's on the show now, so I never felt, they never felt, I mean, there was issues from the very beginning. And when Destiny was talking to Melody, she was like, I mean, we wasn't even married that long, so I don't even feel like I lost anything, really. She said, I woke up and the sun was shining. I was like, yeah, girl, can you feel a brand new day? Melody was like, well, girl, I'm always here for you. You are my sister, and you know I got your back. Now, jumping over to Marcel, he's at work, and, you know, one of the babies call him. She wants him to bring home some potato chips. That's all. My kids always used to call me at work and be like, on your way home, can you stop and get some chips? No, the fuck I can't, damn. Okay, so annoying. But anyway, the kid asked for potato chips. And then when he hangs up the phone, Kimmy comes and she's bringing food for him. She's prepared food for him. And I was like, what is this? I'm not understanding this, all right? But I mean, I guess it's because Letitia is so busy with school. She hasn't had time to, you know, feed Marcel. So Kimmy has taken on the job of making some prepared meals for him. So I guess he can keep them in the refrigerator there at his office. You know, Kimmy's so sweet. Anyway, she's about to graduate. This is her second master's degree, so good for her. That's a lot of work. And Marcel wants to throw a party for her, okay? But he don't really know how to throw this party, so he wants Kimmy to throw the party. And she was just like, yeah, no, okay? Especially with the history of Tisha and Kimmy right now, she's not really trying to do that. They ain't even really been talking to each other recently. She was like, now you guys have made me the bad guy, but now you want me to throw this party? I don't think so. I'll help, but yeah, I'm not gonna be the one that's, you know, putting the boots to the ground to get this party, you know, happening. At the same time, we see Tisha. Child, that Tisha sitting with one of her cousins. One thing I do know is Tisha, her cousin, and her mama Wanda look exactly alike. I mean, same round face, big old eyes, same skin tone. Like, they all look like triplets. Tisha tells the cousin that she feels like Marcel was trying to plan something for her graduation. And her cousin was like, you think your in-laws are gonna come? And she was just like, well, yeah, I think they're coming. And she was like, you think Kimmy is gonna come? And this is when we get the whole speech from Tisha. She tells us that she's always clear about what bothers her, you know, so Kimmy knows what exactly the problem is that she has with her, but she doesn't want to be dwelling on the past, and she always wants to move forward. She says that at least 3 times in the episode. So it's like always, you know, she harps on the past and she talks about everything that's hurt her so damn much all the fucking time. But she always says, well, I just want to move forward. Sometimes it might be even in the same sentence. The girls stay bringing up the past. Oh, she works my nerves, you guys. I'm going to have to really try to be patient with Tisha. I was talking about her on Twitter last night, and I said that actually Tisha gets on my nerves even more than Martell. And people are like, more than Martell? And I said, you know, Martell, see, let me just break it down for you real quickly. The reason why Tisha gets on my nerves is because she's a whiner and she's always the victim. You know, she does place herself in certain situations, but then she turns it around and makes it seem like everybody is attacking her. Now, I will say that there has been moments when Tisha has been attacked, but then there's been other times when she deserved whatever she got. Okay, and then of course she won't say anything. She'll wait until Wanda comes to her rescue. Won't try to check Wanda in any kind of way, because those are the things that she wishes she could say. She won't say them. She lets Wanda say them, and then under the guise of, oh well, that's just my mom. Okay, that ain't everybody else's mom. Your mom is disrespectful and rude. But you know, she's kind of like the throw the rock, and the rock being her mother, and then hiding her hand, which is like, you know, she still feels exactly what Wanda says, and then she, you know, that's why Tisha gets on my nerves. Martell gets on my nerves very much because he's chauvinist and he's a narcissist, and we know that about him. But I think at one time Martell was actually a good person, and that deep down inside, those qualities are still there. But I think that the ego, I think that the success, you know, he's a good looking guy. I think all of that blew his head up so much. You know, they're all on this whole, we're this power couple tip. Him and Melody, you know, they making a big name for themselves out in Huntsville, and he just started to believe the hype, and he got caught the fuck up, okay? And he ruined his life, really. And he goes back and forth between realizing that he fucked up, and then also because his ego is so big and his pride is so big and boastful that sometimes takes over, and he says shit that, you know, gets on your nerves, or that is rude, or that is just like chauvinistic, or that is egotistical and things like that. So Martell sometimes shows his good qualities. Like, he's a good dad. I think everybody can agree that he loves his kids, but he's a horrible husband, you know, and the way that he was thinking, especially the first season. Second season, you could tell he was kind of getting knocked down once they came back from their break, and it was finally the shit had hit the fan, and Melody had had enough and really was filing for this divorce, okay? But before that, his shit didn't stink. Oh my God, his shit didn't stink. And it was just sort of like, yeah, you know, I'm doing my thing. And, you know, as long as Melody shuts up and keeps it in the household, then, you know, he was going to continue to do that thing. And Melody wasn't having it. So Martell is horrible, yes. But this season, especially, that first episode, I was looking at him and I was like, boy, you look like you done had some time. He ain't the fine, crisp, clean cut Martell. He's still a very good looking man. But you can look at him and tell that he done had some times, that he's had some rough times. And Melody, even with all her wild blonde hair and all of that shit, she's gonna be fine. They'll both be fine, but she gonna be fine sooner than he gonna be fine, you know, because she still has the whatever it is to just go on with her life. He gonna take some hits. You know, he's done a lot. He's fucked up a lot of things in his life, and he has to get back on the good foot. Okay, Martell needs to get some PR people. He needs to get a manager. He needs to get some people that can talk to him and tell him the things that he needs to say to get his image back up. You know, because when I was looking at him, I was like, bruh, your beard is shit. You know, he just looks like, and he has the look of tired, worry, like in the eyes, and, you know, up in here. It's like you can see when people have just been stressed. And you can tell that Martell has been there. So I'm hoping that maybe in this season, you know, maybe that boy could come around some, because I mean, he's definitely been dealt a bad set of cards, and he's gonna have to make the best of it. But yeah, that's the reason why I said that Martell gets on my nerves in waves, because I'm just like, you fucked up your life. And, you know, you still have some of them ways of thinking. So you probably gonna have to hit your head a few more times, you know. But Tisha, she's like, just like Kimmy said, she's spoiled. And they probably created that monster, you know, because they allowed her to, you know, just like, it's just kind of like how she is. We felt sorry for her because Marcel was such a damn, like I said, a cave, you know, keeping her as a cave woman in the house. We felt sorry for her. But once she started to get out and and be out and all of that, I was just like, girl, you got to have more sense than this, okay? Fucking got 3 kids, 2 master's degree, 1 husband, and 0 fucking sense. Anyway, let me get back to the show. Martell says that the divorce is final, and that he's, you know, finally trying to get back to himself. And he's trying to act like he's so happy. I was just like, po thing. Okay, now he goes to Destiny's store, her beauty supply. She has a beauty supply slash salon suite there. And so he goes there, and he's got this box of shit. We don't know what's in the box, but they're talking, and she was just like, oh yeah, you know, he asked her how she was doing, how's the baby, and she was like, the baby is great, you know, how are your kids? And he was just like, you know, my kids are fantastic. And she was like, yeah, I saw the post. And he's like, oh, you did? It was a post that he posted of his daughter, one of the daughters, and it was her birthday. And at the very bottom, he posted 4 down, 1 to go, because he has one on the way. And she felt like it was insensitive of him to put that one on the way there, you know, considering. And he was like, well, everybody knows I got another child, you know, fuck, Melody put it out there. And she was like, yeah, I understand that. You know, he's like, I'm not going to deny my child. And she was like, I'm not telling you should deny your child. But, you know, this is like a fresh wound. And you're talking about the new baby. And his whole thing was like, why shouldn't I be able to? And really, you can be very proud, you know, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it is what it is. A baby don't ask to be here. So yes, he's allowed to be proud of his child and everything. I think what she was saying is that the fact that you put this on this picture, the baby is not in there. And I don't even think, I went and looked on his IG and he still hasn't posted that new baby, you know? So it was just sort of like that, you put that there, and that little hashtag down there was going to be something that got under Melody's skin, because the baby ain't, that the new baby ain't even in the picture. You just really showing the, you know, your daughter and you know, so it just kind of felt like a dig. And he was just like, he don't care, damn it, that's his baby. And I understood what he was saying, but I also understood very much what she was saying too, you know, just kind of maybe you want to be a different kind of way, but this is Martell we talking about. You know how he goes back and forth with trying to get Melody mad, and then, you know, all of a sudden he's sorry for it. So, I mean, this is just the way that he operates. You guys tell me what you think about that. Did you think he was being messy? Or is he allowed to say and do that? I mean, he's allowed to do whatever he wants, but you guys know what I'm saying. Let me know. But anyway, he's there and he's pushing these beauty products. And I was just like, it's men's products, but it's still for, you know, beauty. And I was like, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, you are the Martell Holtz of the Holtz and Holtz. And you sitting up here pushing shea butter and astringents and whatnots at the beauty supply. Like, I mean, I don't know. You're supposed to be out here building these huge developments and all of this, and you sitting in the beauty supply pushing products like this. And yeah, that's why I said Martell is taking some hits. I don't know what his wallet is looking like, but I bet you, especially with his infidelity being so public, I think he took some losses there, you know. So she was just like, well, what is this, you know? And he was like, this is a new company that he's gonna be in. Well, like, it's like 15%. And she was just like, oh, you one of the owners? He was like, well, not yet. And she was like, well, why are you coming in here with this stuff? And he was just like, well, I'm gonna be one, but I had to wait till the divorce was final. And she was like, well, the divorce is final, right? How long has it been? He said, it's been a few weeks. She was like, well, when you gonna sign the contract? She was like, you can't be bringing product in here. And, you know, like, that's not good business for me to be having shit. You not even part of the team, you know, like, no. That's why I said again, Martell gonna need some management, because like she said, he obviously was the brawn. Melody was probably the brain. Now, Melody got sense enough not to be bringing product in there if they're not the owners, and trying not, you know. So, that Martell is a study, honey. So anyway, they talking, and he asked her how she and LeBeric doing, and she was like, that's in God's hand, you know. And she was like, I can only do so much on my own. And he was like, yeah, it just all boils down to, you know, the work that we do, talking about as couples. And she was like, well, did you put the work in? He said, yeah, I did put in a lot of work. You know, we was married for what, 12 years? Yeah, that was a lot of work. And she was like, yeah, that is a lot of work, but it is a lot of work to balance 2 relationships. And he was just like, see, that's exactly why you get a divorce, because your mouth, okay? As a matter of fact, you and Melody both got a lot of mouth. You know, men don't want no woman with a whole bunch of mouth. And basically, that's why we ain't together today. Well, Melody, I'm sure, has always had that mouth. He was fine with it all the way up until he started fucking around. And now it's come to 5 years ago, okay, that he been seeing this other girl. And I was just like, oh, really, Martell? You was loving all that spice when Melody was on the fucking warpath for the Scots for the second half of the first season and the first half of the second season. But then when Melody finally came to her, now all of a sudden, you know, she's got too much damn mouth. Shut up, Martell. So his whole thing was, women ought to allow men to be men and don't be speaking a lot. Good luck with that, Martell. Now, jumping over to Melody, we see she's got her business in order now. She is just Melody Holt. We see her offices, and she says she's doing a whole lot of work with the HBCUs and helping to educate people, you know, at these HBCUs on certain issues. She said that she has an R&B song that charted. Now, I haven't heard the song. I guess that's probably those last few episodes of last season that I didn't see. But I saw when she was trying to sing, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna need to hear the finished product on this one. Well, she said she charted #4 on the R&B chart, so I'm gonna have to take a listen to that. I meant to listen to it before I did this video, but now that she's doing so well with that, you know, she's got to set up a video, get that shot, and she's got to set up live performances and interviews and promotion of that song. The Melody Holt brand seems to be doing very well. Now, while she's at her office, Chris Fletcher shows up. And of course, she's curious why he's there. That's Martell's agent, real estate guy. So, you know, she was just like, oh, you know, why are you here? And he's there to talk about, guess what? The 47 acres. He has an investor that wants to buy it. And she was just like, yeah, selling 47 acres is kind of a, you know, bittersweet, because that's what the comeback group wanted to, you know, do big things there. But of course, all the shit fell apart, and hell, half of them ain't friends no damn more. And she done got a damn divorce, and yeah, we good on the 47 acres. So yeah, you can go on and sell it. And she was saying, he was telling her that the investor was interested in her building on the property. And she was just like, oh, okay, what's the price point? $250,000 and up. Okay, you know, she was like, well, have you talked to Martell about this? Because I know Martell was really passionate about it. I ain't really trying to get in no drama, no kind of, you know, shit with Martell. And he was like, yeah, I haven't talked to him yet, but I will. How you gonna pose the question to her first? I guess he wanted to see if she would even be open to it before he would even go and approach Martell about it. She just left it at that. Find out how Martell will feel about it first. Now, Tisha's graduation party. So it's going to be outside because we still shooting, you know, on the latter end of coronavirus and whatever. But it's going to be an outside jammy jam, okay, that Marcel is giving for her. It seems that Tisha and Melody are friends now, which it seems like everybody just switches off who they friends with and who they not friends with. And she has issues with Kimmy. Now, Kimmy feels like they not in a bad place. And honestly, I'm like, Kimmy, like, what is you so mad about? They just disagree on some things. So evidently, Tisha is mad at Kimmy because at the reunion, when they were asked if they talked about behind her back, she said yes, and Tisha said no. All right. And obviously they did talk about Melody behind her back. We saw it on the show. It might not necessarily have been nothing all that horrible, but they've always talked. Everybody discusses the other person when the other person is not around. So Kimmy was just being truthful. Yes, we have. Tisha said no. And so the cousin, one of the cousins, the one that looked just like Tisha, she's up there telling Kimmy that she was wrong for not having Tisha's back. So you mean to tell me that you want me to lie for Tisha? Like, no, she's not doing that. Tisha mad for no fucking reason, okay? Because like I said, you can see the shit on the show. All you had to do was watch it. And this is why Kimmy said that they were the ones that created this monster, because everybody is always having Tisha's back, okay? And always supporting her shit. And now look at what's happening. Now everybody's mad at Kimmy for simply telling the fucking truth. I said, girl, ain't nobody trying to deal with Tisha's old baby ass. Ugh. And the cousin getting on my nerves too. Anyways, you guys, thank God Wanda not there. Oh God, I just need a break from Wanda. Even though I know Wanda is a lot of the reason for the show just being what it is, because, you know, Wanda just gonna say whatever the fuck Wanda want to say. She requires quite a bit of, we need some space. Okay, let's just take a break from Wanda. I'm sure she'll be back eventually. But her dad is there looking like one of the original Delphonics. You know, he coming there with his hair kind of coiffed back and all. Come on, daddy. Tisha comes and, you know, she's happy to see everybody there, all her family. And, you know, Marcel gets on well, I don't know if it was a mic, but, you know, he just tells everybody thanks for coming. He's so proud of Tisha. This is her second master's and she worked hard and blopty blue. And then he gives her a gift. So I guess the gift of choice on this show is Rolex watches. Okay, so he got her a Rolex watch and everybody's all happy. Okay, good. Melody is there with this blonde pushover wig. Child, I can't. I'm telling you, I just was like, girl, you just really wanted to wear that wig. Maybe we could just get like some roots to be a little bit darker. Where are you going? Oh, okay. Or something. Maybe it would look better, but child, that pushover. Every time I saw her and it was going this way, I was just like, oh, child. But we see Tisha's family there, and evidently her family is very close. Okay, they giving Marcel a hard time for, you know, the dad says, yeah, you know, I'm here, you know, from the other side of the tracks. Marcel's like, oh, like y'all gonna just keep on talking about the other side of the tracks, huh? He said, well, you guys might have been on the other side of the tracks, but we sometimes was homeless. Okay, so I'm not trying to say I'm no better than you on the other side of the track. All right, so he always got to explain that. While they giving him a hard time, Tisha pulls Kimmy to the side. And again, the frustration. Kimmy was like, you know, the cousin asked me if we were good, and I thought that we were, that we just had a disagreement. Yeah, but I just felt like, you know, you didn't call me. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Kimmy was like, yeah, I was giving you some space because it was obvious that we didn't, you know, we didn't see eye to eye on a few things. Here go Tisha starting up with this shit about Kimmy being her sister. Listen, somebody tell Letitia, please, that just because our husbands are brothers and they're our best friends, and yes, we do have to be around each other quite a bit, that doesn't make me your sister. I'm your sister-in-law, and I love you as my sister-in-law and everything, but that doesn't mean that I have to support your bullshit. You know, Kimmy was like, look, when I was on the reunion and I was talking about Maurice's wife, you know, saying all this shit about me, calling me a hoe, tramp, trick, all of this. She said, and I was voicing my opinion. Nobody had my back. Nobody came to my rescue and said anything. Okay? But did I sit up here and cry and say how, you know, you my sister and you supposed to always have my back? And no. Charge that shit to the game. Okay? Because really, honestly, everybody has their own fucking life. Like, I can't be worried about what somebody else is saying and you ain't got shit to do with me. All right? So, Kimmy just got over it. The same way that Tisha needs to get fucking over it. But Tisha was just like, you supposed to be my sister. I didn't never say I was your sister. I ain't never said I was your sister. You said that I was your sister. That I'm your sister-in-law, okay? And that that doesn't require me to be just like your family that supports all your bullshit. So I just, you know, Tisha's just so worrisome. You know, my mom didn't tell me that she loved me when I was growing up, but her actions, you know, always showed me that she did. And if you don't show that you love me, you know, in the difficult times, then okay, well, in your opinion, if you got that clarification, then move on with your life, girl. Move on with your life. Kimmy is sitting there looking at her like, girl, I don't have the energy for this. She even tells her, look, Tisha, I adore you. And she's like, your actions don't show it. What the fuck do you want her to do, girl? Talking about it was hurtful and that she thought that Kimmy was better than this. Ugh, the stuff that she says. Those are those low-key, passive-aggressive digs that, you know, really do require a curse out. But I'm telling you, Kimmy is trying to keep it together. But as we saw in the previews for the upcoming season, eventually Kimmy's going to have enough. And I'm waiting for that moment because Kimmy takes so much of everybody's shit and always keeps it classy, always keeps it, you know, very neutral, doesn't blow up when she very well has the right to. Like, I am waiting for that day for her to just be like, just go off. So they sitting there talking, you know, Tisha got the tears coming and everything. And then, of course, like I said, she says in at least 4 times every episode, you know, well, I don't want to keep talking about the past and I just want to move forward. I said, girl, we gonna keep a tally of how many times she says that shit this season. Ooh, that girl works my nerves. So I'm gonna have Huntsville and The Shy up today, which is Sunday, and then tomorrow, which is Monday, I'm going to have Power Book 3 and Real Housewives of Potomac up, okay? And then the next day is going to be Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So I've got a very busy schedule, but I only do it for my rock stars. Rocky, love you. I'm gonna get on off of here, you guys. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm It's Rox. The channel is It's Rox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.